100, and it is definitely a lot more aggressive. Feel that? On the last episode, I spoke about adding some performance modifications on my 911. So let's jump right into that. One of the limitations that my car has compared to the Carrera S is I don't have the sport mode option. And what that means is I can't up the aggressiveness of my throttle response. Well, now I fixed that problem. So how am I able to eliminate that problem? Well, I got this module that will help me be able to control my throttle response a lot better. And that's this Shift Power USA product. And I'm gonna install it on this vlog and then give a demonstration of how it improves my throttle response and overall performance of my car. Let's go ahead and move over to my workbench, open up the box and see what's inside. Here's the contents inside the package. I have the user manual that's going to be helpful in installing this module. And then I also have the actual cable here that's going to be a bypass to the original throttle cable in my car. So I basically connect it through here, and then this goes back to the original throttle cable. And then here's the module that will control the throttle response. And then I have this bonus option here. This is to be able to manually override the system. So if I want this option, I would just have to plug it in and then use the button if I wanted to use that option. It comes with a couple of zip ties as well to help clean up the cables when it's underneath the car, because I'm adding about maybe a foot of extra cable. So having the zip ties will be helpful. But let's go ahead and install this on my car and see if it was worth the investment. One of the first items on installation is to open the door for at least 10 minutes. That way the car's on sleep mode, and now we can work on the throttle cable and replace it with the new one. The throttle cable is right behind the throttle pedal right over here. I'm gonna have to put my camera down so that I can access it and install it, but I'll go ahead and post some pictures of how it looks. This module is compatible with both Apple and Android, so be sure to download the Shift Power app. There are 4 main settings and they are fully configurable. The entry-level option provides a mild improvement in throttle response. The next level is where you really feel a quicker response. And the Super Sport mode takes you to another level of aggressive throttle response. Then there's Race mode, which is basically sport mode on steroids. This wouldn't be advisable for everyday driving, but if you want to take your car for a spirited drive, this would be a fun option. I'm done setting up everything on my car. It was quite a feat trying to get underneath and install everything because it's such a tight area and I'm a pretty big guy, so it was quite a challenge. But now that that's out of the way, let's go for a drive and test out some of the features. I'm gonna start off with dynamic mode, which is about 25%. I'm gonna start off with 25% and see if there's a difference. Right now, and I feel the clutch jumping just a little bit. 75%. See how twitchy it is. It's a lot more twitchy than the 50%, so there's a big difference. I'm coming up on a turn, so I'm gonna switch it to 100%. And this is where it gets more twitchy or more aggressive. If you can see when I'm switching gears, it's already jerking, so it's definitely a lot more aggressive. We're at 100 and it is definitely a lot more aggressive. Feel that? It's really aggressive. I'm only shifting at 4,000 RPM and it's really jerky. So that 100% compared to the previous 75% is a big difference. So this product is definitely something I would recommend if you want to have a dynamic feel for your car, as opposed to how it was before without this feature. Better now that I have this feature in my car. Now I know how it feels like for those who have the Carrera S. I'm almost back home now, and I'm definitely happy with the results of this upgrade, and I'm definitely going to be using it a lot more often. It really changes the driving experience. I'm still at 100 now, so you see how jerky it is. That was quite a different experience right when I cranked it up to about 75 and 100% reaction. And when I was driving in the beginning, I didn't really feel much of a difference at 25, a little bit more at 50%, but boy, after 75%, it definitely kicked in. One of the things that I did want to mention though, if you upgrade to this module, you definitely want to make sure that your clutch is in good shape, because I know for a fact that for my 911, the clutch is in good condition. I had it checked out a few years back when a shop was servicing my car for my AOS problem. They had to drop down my transmission, and while they're at it, they inspected my clutch and it checked out that it was in really good shape. Plus they drove it around to make sure that it's engaging well. So that's an important thing to have, especially when you're upgrading to something like this. Some of my friends are coming over to do some work on their cars, and then afterwards we're gonna go out for some tacos. This is gonna be our second go around installing my friend's front lip. On episode 54 last year, we did the exact same thing. So I got Eduardo's car up on one side so that we could reach underneath and bolt the front lip on. Putting him to work a little bit on this log. So he's putting on some of the trim so that it will protect the lip if it rubs in the bottom. So we got this side bolted down. It's not tightened yet because we got rid of the rest of the sides, but it's coming out pretty good. So this side's buttoned down a little bit. This one's still loose, and we're working our way towards the driver's side. While Eduardo's working on the other side, I used a heat gun to bend this out because it started getting a little weighty. So now it's all straight. We got Eduardo finishing up the front on the driver's side, and then once we're done with that, I'm gonna tighten all the screws, bring his car down, and then head out for tacos. We got Ant with his 997 as well, and I'll be pulling out my 911 as well for tonight. We just left my house. We got the boys in the back. We're heading now to the taco place. I moved the car a little bit around. It's now right behind me. So I got my car, Eduardo's, Ant's, and then Bane's in the back. everybody's order. We got some tacos on Friday.
Yeah, Taco Friday.
Let's go! Initially, I wanted to combine this vlog with a combination of adding the shift power as well as my new exhaust. On the next vlog, we'll focus on just installing my new exhaust. So that's gonna do it for this episode. Thanks for joining, and we'll see you on the next one.